Hello everyone, this is Corbell with a quick tutorial on how to use VRCDN platform with Streamlabs OBS, also known as SL-OBS. And I know some of you performers are also Twitch streamers, so these are also your optimal Twitch settings as well. Jumping into it, general, these are your personal settings. You're going to have to mess with them on your own time. I'm not going to start with this. We're going to go right to stream. For the stream page, you're going to see something like this. You're going to ignore this completely and go to the bottom left to custom ingest. And you're going to want to go back up to streaming services, change that to custom streaming server. And then with the provided VRCDN URL and stream key that we gave you, you're going to put those in their respective areas. And then when you do put in the stream key or the guest key, it's going to be hidden. You're going to want to show it and then make sure that the URL and the stream key are identical to what we gave you. And then just to be safe, you're going to hit done. Every time you're done with that, you're going to hit done. That should save it. If not, go ahead and do it again. Moving on, your output mode, it should say simple up here. You're going to want to change it to advanced. So you get all these beautiful settings down here. But I can't fit them all into one page. So let's start up here with encoder. You're going to make sure that it's your factory encoder that you received your PC with, or else if it's not, you may experience 1 to 2 seconds of latency between your voice on your microphone and your instrument. So if you are having trouble with that, that may be the reason is your encoder settings are wrong. And now that I can fit everything onto one page, I'm going to take the time for you to pause the video and copy everything I have on the screen here. And then moving along, the only thing you can change on this on the screen is the bitrate. You could have as low as a bitrate for the VRCDN as 3500 and as high as 6000 on the VRCDN before it does not work. So that's for you to experiment on your own time. For recording, you're going to want to have everything on page 1 identical for recording as well. So streaming and recording, make sure that's identical. The only thing different you could have is recording format. You could either choose an MKV type or MP4 type. I prefer MP4. For audio track, you're going to want to have that as 32 or 320 bitrate, and then everything else is irrelevant. For audio track 1, just 320. Replay buffer, you're going to make sure that's not checked. If it is, you're going to have a latency in the world when you're performing of around 30 seconds. Make sure that's not checked. Audio, that's completely up to you. It depends on your PC quality. So however you can, your PC handles things. So 44 to 48, you got to experiment with it. Stereo, always, unless you're ballsy and you want to give them a 7.1 surround sound experience. That's for you to mess with on your own time. I prefer stereo. Never mono, of course. Never mono. It's going to crush your quality. Now, this is the harder part. This all depends on your PC and how it runs, whether you could run games and stream at the same time and it runs smoothly. But at the end of the day, 1080 is where it's at with 60 FPS. That's for streaming in general on Twitch. Now, when you are not streaming and you are doing specifically a gig with the use of a VRCDN, you should crush that down to half, or no, not half, just from 1080 down to 720. And then from FPS value 60 to 30. That's entirely up to you. You got to experiment with it, but that's the best that you're going to probably get with your PC. And then lastly, all of this should be auto-populated to where it should work the first time, so everything should be good on this side. But advanced settings, you're going to make sure that, absolutely sure that this is 300 nits for the SDR level, and then the HDR is 1000 nits, and that should be it. This is good for both live gigs on VR chat with the use of a VRCDN and your Twitch stream, so just make sure to revisit your video if you did mess with this just to go live for a gig. Make sure you change it back when you go live for Twitch. Yeah, that should be around about it. Thank you so much.